I don't know. It's a very vague, loose, amorphous, non-specific term. But I do know that for some people who may use the toilet and they may not clean properly.
Okay.
You know, in terms of wiping.
Okay.
Instead of wiping, you know, from forwards backwards, could wipe backwards forward. They could come down.
Okay, so they bring fecal matter.
Yes, into maybe
into
the
other
urinary tract
spaces
and all that. So into the urinary tract, down up into the urinary tract. That might, in the layman's view, be
what they are calling a toilet infection.
You see, cholera is a different ball game.
But cholera has to go through the mouth, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not spread by, you know, physical contact.
Okay.
Human contact, you know. Human beings are the only, I mean, the higher animals that are the only known victims of cholera, not animals and all that. So
I'd like to ask you about personal involvement in prevention. You've spoken about, you know, something the government can do,
yes,
maybe the local government, but how about the person?
Yeah, in Bangladesh, when they've had different cycles of cholera, they use what is called a sari cloth, S-A-R-I. They just fold the cloth about 4 to 8 times, and this is to filter their water.
Okay, what we call a cheesecloth.
Yes, and when they did that, the cases of cholera decreased by 50%.
So you can use cloth to get out the bacteria?
In terms of filtering,
yes,
after folding it several times, yes. So in rural areas, you could use this as a form of membrane filtering.
Okay. To
filter your water. But boiling water is also helpful. So you could boil your water. For those that could, we have what we call decontaminating or hike kits. These are small kits that you just pour your water into, and then the water
cleans it up. Let's quickly take this call. Hello. Hello? I'm afraid we've lost that call. So you filter it. And boil.
Boiling, filtering. Some people have who know how the scientific composition put chlorine granules to chlorinate also. Okay, but boiling is very effective and safe. So once you boil the water sufficiently and allow it to cool, you've killed the organism.
And I suppose washing of hands would come in handy.
Yes,
here too.
Personal hygiene is very important.
We have another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What's your question?
Hello. Hello.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
I say what causes infection and the hello.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you. What caused the infection?
The cholera infection. Well, maybe we ought to go over that just one more time.
Yes, like I said, it's fecal-oral by ingestion of contaminated food or contaminated water. In the developed world, contaminated food is the usual vehicle. In developing countries such as ours, contaminated water is the vehicle. And we see this when you have a mixture of sewage and water supplies. Or even, like someone said, going to the stream. Some people defecate in the stream. And then people also take water from that same...
And then that thing flows downstream, and some other people who don't know what you did upstream are taking the water.
In fact, one way of knowing a developed society is when you don't see feces on the road.
Okay.
That's one definition of a developed country. When you don't see on surfaces on the road, you don't see feces. That is one definition of a developed
country. Let me quickly give you my final question.
Yes.
Given the global view which you have put on cholera, shouldn't there be a global response? And with this global view, can cholera be stopped?
Well, like someone has said, we've had it for
7 cycles?
Yes, centuries. And looking at what John Snow did in 1854, in the 1850s, he just discovered that everyone who goes to use a point source of water in London comes down with cholera. So what did he do? He removed the head of the pump, and cholera stopped. So the point I'm trying to make is that it just takes people rising up and saying, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're not going to do. We in Africa, may have to take the gauntlet and decide for ourselves. We have, because in the developed world, as affluence came up, cholera went down. So as we begin to develop our human development indices, social development indices, people become more aware, hygiene improves, I think cholera should be a thing of the past.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you so much for having
coming.
me.
And thanks for chipping in your view concerning the President's health. Thank you so much for being with us and calling in. Have a great day. I'm Mary Alale Yusuf.